I'm Karen Ehman, author of the book, Keep Showing Up, How to Stay Crazy in Love When Your Love Drives You Crazy. You know, our culture has a lot to say about love. You don't really need to look further than the popular music of our culture to find it. Over the past 50 or so years, here is what our music has asserted to be true about love. First of all, it's a tad bit crazy. You know, Queen said it's a crazy little thing called love. And John Cougar Mellencamp, well, he just needs a lover who won't drive him crazy. And sometimes it's not just full of conflict, it's an all-out war. Bon Jovi says, you give love a bad name, and Pat Benatar says love is a battlefield. There's also this notion that love is something you fall into. You know, Elvis, he just can't help falling in love with you. And sometimes music says that love is something you fall out of, right? The Righteous Brothers, you've lost that love and feeling. Of course, society tells us we just have to have an object of our love. And Queen again says that, you know, find me somebody to love. And good old Eddie Rabbitt, he doesn't get all bent out of shape trying to find romance. He just loves himself a rainy night. Well, the Bible sure has a lot to say about love too. And one of the most interesting things I find is this. Do you know that there's actually a contest in the Bible that has to do with love? There is. It's found in Romans 12:10. It says this: love one another deeply as brothers and sisters. Outdo one another in showing honor. First, let's notice that love and honor, they're kind of tethered together. Love just isn't an ushy-gushy feeling like the lyrics of a love song. It's a choice to treat another person with honor, respect, and dignity. In this passage, we are told to outdo one another in showing honor. So here are some other translations of the Bible and how they read, because they're all a little bit different. The NIV says this: be devoted to one another in love, honor one another above yourselves. The New King James Version says, be kindly affectionate to one another with brotherly love, and in honor, giving preference to one another. The New Living Translation says this: love each other with genuine affection and take delight in honoring each other. Well, the very first time this verse was written, it was penned in the Greek language. So let's look at what the original Greek language seemed to convey when it comes to this idea of outdoing one another in showing love. Well, here is the Greek meaning of the phrase we get in Romans 12:10 that reads, outdo one another. It's a verb. That's what part of speech it is. And the transliteration of this, I'm going to spell it for you. It's Proegeomai. Apparently somebody wanted to buy a vowel, right? This is how it's pronounced. Proegeomai. Proegeomai. Well, that word, it means to defer to or give preference to. Now, I think we probably understand what it means to give preference to, but what does it mean to defer to? Well, the good old Merriam-Webster dictionary defines it as this: to allow someone else to decide or choose. Yikes, who likes to do that? However, it's commanded of us in Scripture. So we are going to explore some practical ways to live out this verse. But first, I wanted to tell you about another shade of the meaning of this Greek term, proegeomai. It means this: to go before. Now, doesn't that seem completely backwards? If we're supposed to be deferring to or showing preference to, how can we be going before at the same time? Well, maybe because this going before means to go before and lead by example, or to show the way. So when we prefer and honor our husbands, when we defer to them and we let them decide, we are going before them, in a sense, showing by example what it means to carry out the command of this verse to outdo one another in showing love and honor. So then it does kind of become a contest. So in your relationship with your husband, try to outdo him in showing love, in honoring and preferring him, leading the way. Now, here are some just real simple ideas you might want to do. Do his job. Give your husband a break this week. Does he normally take out the trash or load the dishwasher? You do it instead this week. Is he the one usually responsible for vacuuming out the vehicle or taking it through the car wash? Surprise him and you do it instead. How about this one? leave him a treat. That's a super easy one. Leave his favorite snack on his pillow where he will discover it before bedtime, or on the dash of his vehicle where he will see it in the morning before he goes to work. Make sure to leave a little note telling him something you love about him. Here's another one that involves food. Make a memorable meal. Is there a particular meal your spouse absolutely loves? Maybe his grandma's homemade chicken pot pie or his aunt's famous lemon meringue pie. Track down the recipe, or maybe one similar from the internet, and whip up a delicious meal for him. Here's another one. Send something special delivery. Arrange to have an edible arrangement or a platter of meats and cheeses delivered to his office on an ordinary day, just because. Sign it from your not-so-secret admirer. Rally the troops. Gather the children, or if you don't have children, pull some of your spouse's closest friends and come up with a top 10 list of things people love about your spouse. Then read it out loud to him, late show style, beginning with number 10 and counting down to number 1. Make sure to have it typed up nicely on a piece of paper for him to have as a keepsake of what others love about him. And finally, send him off. Send your husband off, either alone or with a few of his friends, to do something he enjoys that you do not. Get him tickets maybe to a jazz concert or a sporting event, an auto show. Make him up a coupon that says you are sending him off for an entire day alone. Or buy him a gift card to a sports-themed restaurant so he can take a buddy there to order barbecued wings and watch the big game on the big screen. Okay, are you up for the contest? Outdo your husband in lovingly showing honor. Defer to him. Give preference to him. Lead the way by example. Keep noticing the good. Keep loving despite the not so great. Don't let your frustrations in marriage drive you crazy. Let them drive you straight to Jesus. Just keep showing up.